Hey, it's W5HRO again. I'm running some tests on the speech amp driver rack and the panel, whatever you want to call it. I took the front panel off, I pulled the meter off, and I come to find out I didn't remember doing this, but I decided, I guess, to hook this current meter in series with the B positive line, the 300 some volts, and that's excuse me, I got the hiccups here, but that's what I was doing, and I didn't realize that. I thought it was on like the center tab, or not the center tab, but or on something else. I don't remember what it was on now, so it's pretty wild. But the way this thing was operating, this wire that goes down to the 810 modulator rack below it, it's the high V coming from this supply. And it comes down, it goes down to the primary side, the center tap of the driver transformer for the 810s, and then the winding, the two other ends come back and they come up through these RCA cables and they come down here to the 6A3s. That's the way I was doing it. So what I've done is I've just kind of jumpered these two 6A3s together. I've got the audio completely shut off so there's no AC going through. And I set it for the static bias because the 6A3s, doesn't matter, 2A3s or 6B4Gs, you're in the static bias at 80 mils. And at 80 mils, I get like 365 volts, thereabouts, plus or minus. After it warms up, it shifts a little bit. But I'm not sure, this supply, I mean, I'm going to try to beef it up. I'm not sure there's actually enough current to properly power the grids of the 810s with the 6AS7 that I'm going to put in here on the end down there. So we'll see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build the thing. I'm going to rewire all the sockets for this circuit here, get everything hooked up. I'm going to power it up, and these resistors here, I'm not going to make permanent. I'm just going to, and these here, I got to play around with the Zehners. And I really don't like doing this, but I'm going to put these big 47 mics to keep those Zehners regulating and keep the voltage stable, because I'm going to try to put the 4.7 meg input resistor. If I regulate the screen on this and get just enough current with this cap so the voltage stays stable when I modulate, then it'll be okay. Then I can probably get away with putting the bigger resistor here, because these tubes are designed for a 1 meg input max, but I want to get the full response from the D104, right? So anyway, but I'll wind up tweaking these resistors. I'll probably have them just kind of tacked in there, and I'll just swap around different values until I get it just right. This is just a starting point. I have a hunch with this one here, the voltage here is going to be more than 300, but we'll see. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead. Now, if I back the 6A3s down the minimum load, which is around 50, when I run the rheostat up all the way to 1K, it comes up to 380 volts, and that's where I remember the 380. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to beef up the capacitance on this, and I may wind up changing the transformer before it's over. I don't know. I may have to. We'll see. I hope not, but I'm going to see what I can do. I would like to go just choke input on this, but then the voltage is going to be lower than this, right? So I need to, that's something I've got to consider. So, but let me go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and power this off, and I'm going to diode out, because right now the 5Y3 is in there. So let me remove the 5Y3 and eliminate that voltage drop with a couple diodes instead, and let's see what this voltage comes up to. See, it's creeping up a little bit, and there's 80 mils static exactly. Now I can run this thing up to like 100 or 150. I can actually peg the meter out, because I can have no bias, and the tubes become like almost a dead short, which is hard on the tubes. But I got to look to see, because I may want to run this thing up as high to like the max of what the 6A3s will handle, just so I can see how far the voltage drops. And if it drops too far, I may have to put a higher current transformer on this thing. But I'm going to play with it to see what happens. So let me go ahead and change the diodes, and we'll see what that does here. Okay, here's the diodes. Way too hot. Way too hot. Look at that. I just soldered in a couple 1N4007 diodes to make it just a half-wave supply, and it's got all the voltage I need. But it's probably, oh, look what it's doing now. Oh God, the idle current's at 100 mils. Let me change this. I didn't realize that. Let me stop the video so I can get my hands free so I can back that current down. But that's at 100 mil static current. Okay, I got the rheostat back down all the way, and I can only get it down to, like, what is it? Still just under 100 mil static. Well, just above 80. It's a hair above 80, between 80 and 80 and a half. See if you can, let me look. I'm making the mistake of not looking at my phone. See, that's as low as I can set the 6A3 bias. Yeah, looks like I may have, I need to turn this thing off, because you know why? The tubes and the capacitors I have on this thing aren't designed to handle that high a voltage yet. So, okay, I think this thing is worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot on trying to modify this thing with the, this circuit. I mean, with the existing transformer. I'm not leaving that, I don't want to leave that up that high, but I'm wondering, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to rewire all the tubes, get all to this configuration, get that all set, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, hang on, the cat's down here, come on, no Maxwell, come on. He wants to jump up on the bench, and no, dude, no, don't do that. I got the soldering iron plugged in, dude. So that's kind of the, what's going on with this now. No, Max, no, don't do that. His name's Maxwell. I call him Max for just his normal main name, Max. My daughter saw that Maxwell cat on TikTok, the one that wears the camera around his neck, and he's a tuxedo cat, just like Max is, slightly different color. It's more white and less black, but he goes around, he bullies all the other cats, and that's what this cat does. He goes out and he fights every other cat in the neighborhood, so I forced him to be an indoor cat. And I take him outside around the property on a harness. It's crazy. People laugh like they've never seen somebody, but if I don't do that, the poor guy goes nuts. So we've had him in the house now for a year, and it's been hard. He's starting to get better, but he, at least 3 times a day he cries and he wants to go out, so I have to take him out there. And here I digress. So this is worth a shot with the existing transformer, and I'm thinking, I might be able to convert it to choke input and get it down a little bit. Because I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to, on the supplier on each side of the choke, I should probably get a couple big 100 mic caps on each side of the choke, maybe. I don't know, because that's going to beef it up even higher. But if I convert it to choke input, I think I may have one more of these chokes here. I could add another one in series and make it a dual filter circuit to get the voltage down a little bit if it's going to be too hot. And that would make it even cleaner, and that would even better regulate it. So that's an option. So let me think about this, and I'm going to pull all these wires off, and I'm going to start unwiring all these existing sockets, and I can leave the 6SJ7 like it is. It's just the one where the 6N7 was. I have to modify it for the 6SK7 AVC compression amp tube that I'm gonna put in there in its place. So that's all for now. 73s.